There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's okay, just the mic, nothing wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you all. This is Menosky, and this is the Italian podcast. With me today, as usual, there is from Mexico, Eagle Ceres.
Hola, amigos.
And from England, we have Will Smith.
Good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary individuals, or whatever else you want to be called. Let's be non-discriminatory. Oxygen breathers. There you are. That encompasses everybody.
No, because you're discriminating on anaerobic forms of life. You're racist. No, speciesist?
Oxygenist.
Oxygenist, yeah.
If any anaerobic respiring organism is listening to this, write in, and please make yourselves known to science.
Yeah, we have the email, or leave a like on our Facebook page. Well, my Facebook page. We should get a Facebook page for the program, guys. I mean, it's only our fix. Yeah? Yeah?
We should. You never know.
Yeah, we should. Okay. So, today we're... guys, I don't want to, speak for everyone, but I think I speak for everyone when I say that this is probably the heaviest, most dangerous and explosive subject we've ever touched upon. Because we talked like feminism, we talk about war, we talk about terrorism, but today we're talking about what if Force Awakens sucks?
Hold the phone. Roll it back a little bit and replay it slower for me. What if what sucks?
The Force
Awakens.
Awakens.
Yes.
Star Wars 7. Well, how you want to call it?
You don't want that to suck. Please, you really don't want that.
Yeah, but I'm a cynical bastard. I'm a realist. And there is the chance that it may suck. I'm sorry. There is that chance.
To a certain degree, if you try hard enough, you can find something to suck in everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
some people think Citizen Kane sucks because it's in black and white.
Yeah.
These people are retarded. So, but yes, no. In your, I understand precisely what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because I was hyped for the prequel trilogy a couple of years before they came out, and when they came out,
everyone's like, okay. So let me rectify. Okay, what if Force Awakens is a bad movie? Like, there is just someone that makes you want... Okay, when I say a bad movie, it's a bad movie. It's a movie that makes me want to get off the chair. But I can't get off the chair in the cinema because I already paid for the ticket and I don't want to feel like I waste my money. Even though I will still feel like that when I get out of the theater if it's that bad. That's the kind of movie that I define bad. Now, Ever happened to you?
Yes.
Ever happened to you?
Okay. Got it. Okay.
No, I've never walked out of a movie yet.
As any movie made you want to do that?
No, not that bad, but I'm a bit more selective as what I see. Saying that, because of the chain who now runs the local cinema in Hinckley, I can get one of their unlimited passes, in which case it costs me nothing to see a movie on a weekday. So it's basically, if you see 3 films a month, it's paying for itself. So I go, okay, we'll go see a film. It costs me nothing. Oh, this looks good. And go, well, that was absolute garbage. Unfortunately, it didn't cost me anything. I think, well, no, this is nuts to this. I'm walking out. I'm quite selective about what I see. But I did see the Green Lantern movie on the big screen. And that was the worst film I've seen on the big screen for a long time. I haven't seen anything nearly as bad as that since.
Wow.
I mean, I've seen things I thought, no, that's a little bit disappointing, or wasn't quite what I expected. But I don't seek out the bad movies because
Yeah.
I'm cheap and it costs me money to go there. And I don't walk out because I'm cheap and it costs me best part of £8, probably 10.
Yeah.
Probably about €12. €12 a ticket. It's gonna be
Yeah, it's gonna piss you off more. What about
It's
you,
not-
Eagle? Yeah?
Honestly, up to date, there's only been one movie I've walked out on, and it wasn't
Yeah.
voluntarily.
Okay, what movie was that? That sounds like a story.
Now, preamble to this.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, well, I'll just say this. The name of the movie was Porky's.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that one.
And preamble to this is because my mother took me
Yeah.
and my sister to see them, thinking it was Porky the Pig from Warner Bros.
No!
Guess what kind of shock she got there?
It's like, whoops.
Whoops, this is
Yeah.
not that kind
See,
of Porky.
That is the danger of the R rating system. Now, Porky's at the time, I believe, got an 18 certificate in the UK. Certainly, its
Wow.
home video release did initially, which means not suitable for people under the age of 18, and in the case of home video, not to be supplied to anyone below that age, or in the cinema, not at all.
Well, so I guess at the time in Mexico, they didn't really care about the age of who walked in these things, I guess.
Oh, it was a mother taking a couple of children to what she thought was an animated feature film, where it was pretty much softcore.
So, but basically, she... okay, what kind of... Okay, no, because I'm curious, because what kind of cinema was it? Because they didn't have any,
I don't know. I never really asked about it. I just heard about it. It just cracked up.
I imagine. Okay. Well, for me, okay, I never walked out of a movie either, but there are a few movies that made me want to. Okay. Yeah, okay. The first was a movie that basically can you do you know Twilight? Of course you do. Basically, there is
We know of it, yes.
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I've had the luck to not even have to touch neither books nor movies.
Yeah, I said okay. Basically, not Twilight. I did not. It wasn't Twilight. Basically, it was an Italian series of movies. There was an Italian series of movies that basically were like Twilight, but without the supernatural aspect. But the basis was the same. It was. They dragged me there because there was this girl I liked and stuff. But seriously, all I wanted to do was basically I would have preferred to stab myself. There was only one good actor in that movie, and he was the girl's father. That was the only good actor. Wow. So yeah.
I think
also,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Man of Steel. That was kind of bad too.
Man of Fail. Oh yes.
Yeah, Man of Fail. Exactly. Okay, returning to.
If anything, the one I almost stepped out of was a Blair Witch Project, but I powered through it with really strong amounts of almost wanted to barf.
Okay, yeah, because it
camera
was
effects.
kinda, yeah.
That one was, yeah. I saw a bootleg of that before it came out because it was quite a delay between.
Wait! You saw a bootleg of a bootleg style movie?
Yes.
Was it better?
It's one of those. Well, to be honest, I hated the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
And now, that's not to say that it's entirely without merit. Were I to revisit it, it's entirely possible I would have a different opinion. I'm not a huge fan of found footage. The best found footage film I've seen is Chronicle.
Wow, Chronicles is,
Chronicle is very good.
It's very good.
Oh.
It's kind of surprising then the director went on to make the Fantastic movie or whatever.
The Fantastic 3 3/5.
Yeah, that thing.
Racial joke there. Because history lesson.
Has feelings too. The Thing has feelings too.
Yeah.
Why is the thing so angry? Well, he doesn't need trousers anymore. That means he's lost his genitals. That would make me angry.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm funny like that.
Okay, returning to the subject at hand. Okay, so there is I dear to God hope it doesn't suck, because I don't go in hoping that things suck, because I'm not even convinced it will suck. I mean, there is the possibility it will suck. So what I want to ask yourself, if there was like something that would make the movie bad, what would it be, in your opinion? What could make it like suck so bad that people would want their money back or something, like what happened with the Phantom Menace?
Okay, the thing is, when Phantom Menace came out, it wasn't bad. The problem is people got tired of Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
You sure that was the only reason?
Because Jar Jar Binks wasn't a necessary character, and it was a good idea exploring the origin of Anakin Skywalker. That was a good idea. And then they just piled on too much stuff at the same time, and it just got boring. Just got annoying.
We're watching Star Wars. What do we care about trade routes and taxation?
Exactly.
Yes, that's something else which I intend to bring up later on in this various discussion. But the Star Wars is a rich universe, and it's what we say the TV tropes described as a used future. And there's Adam Savage, the Mythbusters guy who used to work at ILM, and and the guy who knows a great deal of things. He's saying that the big difference between Star Wars and Star Trek is Star Trek, if you're having a prop, everything looks exactly the same. But for Star Wars, the third one will have to be different or missing. So, there we are, used future. Because everything has a story behind it, like the Millennium Falcon and, the Empire. Why do these people have droids? Why are the droids anthropomorphic? Why is it described as why is C-3PO such a coppery mincing bastard?
Yeah.
to quote someone I saw on Twitter. Star Wars. We were there to see science fantasy, space fantasy, space opera. We're here to see good guys, bad guys, space knights, starships.
You say that
taxation don't mean shit to us.
So you say that they focus too much on that? Maybe they spend too much time on that. That's your criticism.
There's some of that. If anything, like Ross said, the thing is, it's you want Star Wars to be about a fantasy epic. It's about the hero's journey. It's about good versus evil and finding out there's shades of gray. And I'm not talking 50 Shades. It's about a greater universe, and I want to say it's a past future where, like the title, like the starting card says, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. So it's not our future. It's greater
Someone
universe,
else's.
other races, other species, and I'm gonna borrow from Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh,
It's Bill Nye the Science Guy.
uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Go ahead and Google him up later.
Okay.
He's a longtime scientist that was actually a TV personality. He had a TV show about science. So what he did is his favorite is Star Trek because it's more science-based, while Star Wars is more fantasy. It's magic. It's the Force. It has a lot of science, but it's a lot of
fantasy science. Okay. So.
I mean,
that's it.
I can understand why Bill Nye likes Star Trek more than Star Wars, and if you like, it depends. Star Trek is explaining.
Okay, guys, we're getting really off track here. The question I asked was, if if Force Awakens will suck, what do you think could make it suck? That was the question. We shifted to Star Trek. We went like in another fictional universe altogether.
Okay, no, fair enough. I think that you hit it on the head. It's diverting too much from the Star Wars formula of good versus evil, hero's journey, interesting things. Not going on to silly things like taxation of trade routes and annoying bunnies who step in the poo-poo, to quote Mr. Plinkett.
There's that, and one thing that call me weird, call me old-fashioned. You can talk about the characters, but when you start bringing unnecessary drama or politicizing and taking it away from the fantasy,
what do you mean politicizing?
Talking about bringing in a little bit of what we talked in previous sessions. Something being sexist, something being X, Y, Z.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
If they start bringing that in, that's gonna turn me off. Because it's fantasy. It's fantasy. It's make-believe.
On that I won't say it's fine to talk about those topics. I think in a movie, but the thing is, what I hate is when they try to tell you what you should think about that. You can feel that in a movie. You can distinguish when they're just talking about something and letting you make your own idea, and when they're telling you what to think. That can get pretty annoying pretty fast. Yeah, I agree with that.
A quick errata on this one. We're seeing that, for example, there's Finn and there's the other characters. They're Force users, which happen to be a woman and a person of African American,
a black guy.
African
you can say a black guy. You can say that.
You know what? I don't care if you're white, black, yellow, polka dot, green, have tentacles, whatever.
Yeah, just
are you a well-developed character? Yes. Are you going to be Sith or Jedi? I don't care. Just do a great job about it.
Okay, so you just hope they don't make a big deal out of the fact that they're black or a girl, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a Jedi or you're a Sith or you're a whatever.
Right. I hope that's the case too. I hope that's the case too. Also,
So I don't care if all the things just seem to imply that the lead character is a young black lad or a girl or whatever. I just care that they're able to, they can act and believable that, draw me into their science fantasy. Not suck balls. If I want to see people suck balls, I'd turn on porn.
Yeah, I hope. Me personally, I fear. On top of stuff like you said, with bad, addition to the formula, it's more like stupid stuff and stuff that you can't explain or just hammered, like the midi-chlorians thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that removed a lot of the magic about the Force.
Yes. It's something that... That's the problem with prequels, because you know how certain things are going to turn out. Sometimes you want to know the backstory of it. Sometimes
they go too technical about it.
You don't need to know. I mean, did we need to know there are elements of Anakin Skywalker's fall from grace? We can.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were fine with knowing that the guy is basically Jesus, because he was like space Jesus basically, because there was no father. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So okay, that's maybe pushing it a little, but I was still fine with it because all the symbolism and stuff. But then you go midi-chlorians, that's yeah,
that goes too far.
Yeah, it's like trying to go.
My thing there was, you get this all this hype that remember all this hype about the balance to the Force, whatever. Okay, cool. then you put the midichlorians into it, and like you're putting in unnecessary science.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it a little bit more realistic to either scare off a group or not scare off a group or not insult people. I'm like, just sometimes a little less is more.
Yes, that's something a lot of people seem to have forgotten. Less is more.
Less is more. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the details, I think, I don't really care about where the force comes from. The midichlorians, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, the force is just the energy field that binds us, binds us all together. That's basically, George Lucas has said, that's basically what religion boils down to.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's perfectly fine. But, also, speaking of the Star Wars prequels and why they're so rubbish, I recommend that you spend 3 and a bit hours and track down the Red Letter Media Mr. Plinkett reviews of Star Wars prequels.
Red Letter Media. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yes, the Mr. Plinkett. Now, the voice he uses takes little getting used to. For the first heard, I thought this is really annoying, but it's actually grown on me because I've watched a lot of the other Red Letter Media videos, which is Mike Stocklasa. Apologies for mispronouncing his name. Mr. Plinkett is like an overweight slob. He's a horrible human being. Yeah. Also, he opens up his Phantom Menace reviewers. Phantom Menace is the most disappointing thing to my son. And while my son eventually hanged himself in a gas station bathroom, the Phantom Menace will be with us forever.
Okay, so he doesn't pull its punches. Okay.
No, he's very good, and he points out everything that's wrong with it.
Yeah. Also, and speaking of rubbish, so it could be like deviating from the formula, but another thing that really two other things really. The other things that I think are bad about the Star Wars movies were, one, the writing. Like the writing, the words, like the sentences these people have to utter are something. To
quote Harrison Ford, George, you can write this shit, but you sure as hell can't say it.
Yeah, you can't say. I mean, there are some things. No matter how good on an actor you are, you can't come out like. I mean, I don't know. The only actor. But that's probably because he got most of the good lines in those movies. Is Ewan McGregor in the prequels. I mean, poor Hayden. You know, the guy who did this, Anakin in the movies. Because the old one. If you know this, when he's not speaking, when he's just like silent, fighting, or just staring at you, it's fucking... It's scary.
Yeah. Going on that tangent, a few weeks ago, after I got back from LA with you guys, had a weekend with some friends, and we watched episode 4, 5, and then we watched 2 and 3. And we officially declared that Anakin Skywalker is a creeper.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's so creepy.
So creepy, getting his creep on Amidala, and I love you. And everything, and you know what? Amidala is not a saint herself. She wanted some shota.
Yeah.
She wanted some shota. She enjoyed it.
She's just 5 years older than him, you know. Yes. Yeah.
5? Nah, that's at least 10. Come on.
No. I remember she was 16 in the first movie.
Yeah, but going back to the topic.
Okay.
That you were dealing with is. Yeah, not enough lines to actually flesh out Anakin as a person.
He's a person,
like
exactly.
Entity. He is, like you said, Jedi Jesus. Until Vader.
That's it, basically.
Yeah, well, let's not also kill ourselves. The dialogue in the original Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, some of that dialogue is very ropey.
Yeah, it's corny, but it's not awful. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because for episodes 5 and 6, somebody else came in and polished up George Lucas's with dialogue. They gave the scripts a couple of polishes. So was the original, the prequel trilogy. Who was going to tell George that sucks, George? Change it. Nobody. You know, it's like it because like you know, fuck off. I'm a billionaire. I can do what I like. I could right. So I could package up a tour with Star Wars on, and people would buy it. And that's part of the problem with the original trilogy. Star Wars is a juggernaut. It's a cultural icon. And once it was described as popular culture's greatest achievement. But you know, I'm not sure what popular culture's greatest achievement is now, but at its height, Star Wars was magnificent. And we are talking mid-90s here, so we are talking X-Wing versus TIE Fighter on the PC. One of the finest games ever.
Yeah.
No one in their right mind would slag off X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Not within earshot of me, though, but not if they enjoy walking. But yeah, so this is the kind. So there's a lot, and because a lot of the Star Wars became quite good because we know there's a whole universe outside of what we see, the whole expanded universe, which is no longer canon, no longer fits in with the movie canon.
Fuck that! I don't fucking care. I mean, until like they make a movie like in the same time zone, the Old Republic is canon to me. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you, Disney. The Old Republic games are canon. I don't give a fuck.
I'm referring to more things like the Thrawn trilogy. Vice Admiral Thrawn, not so canon, perhaps. Well, they've not counted a lot of what consists of after Jedi.
Yeah.
A lot of that doesn't matter as far as doesn't necessarily fit in with Episode 7. That's not to say that it conflicts, because it could all fit in nicely. It's just not be mentioned. Just because they're not talking about it doesn't mean it conflicts. Then,
also...
Yeah, we get a very dangerous situation, so...
Yeah, another very dangerous situation, and you were saying, Eagle, go ahead.
I was going to say a little bit on what Rob was saying. Stuff that kind of, I want to say, sprouted off or branched off from the main Star Wars franchise, and you were saying the extended universe, like you said, the KOTOR games, the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Yeah.
Personally, I became a bit of a fan of the Jedi Knight Academy and the Force Unleashed games.
Jedi Academy was also very good. And the Force Unleashed was also... I mean, he had good gameplay. It wasn't really good, like, story-wise, but the gameplay...
Okay.
Wow.
It wasn't horrible. It was okay. It
was no Star Wars Connect.
Dancing and Solo.
I'm Han Solo and I'm dancing. No. No.
For starters, that is not the way Han Solo dances. And he shoots first.
He shoots first, and then he dances. Yeah.
Exactly. He dances on your cold, limp body. My thing there's a lot of great stuff that is either put on the shelf or just plain disavowed. I remember in the old school days when they had a lot of the what happens after all those novellas and all that.
Yeah.
That could have been considered originally fan fiction, and then it was elevated to extended universe, and now it's kind of pretty much made apocryphal.
Yeah, it's kind of rubbish. Some of those novels were very good, like the novels about the Sith who made up the Rule of Two. It was Darth. How is it? I don't fucking remember. Oh my god, Darth. With the Rule of Two. I don't remember Darth something. It was a very good. Darth Bane. Darth Bane, the Darth Bane novels. Those are some fucking good. Sorry?
Darth Bane, does he have a mask? And why does he wear a mask?
No, it's Bane with the B-A... Okay, yeah, there's the same name. But you know what I mean. You know what? That was some very good literature. That also erased. Why? I don't know. Also the other thing with that I'm worried about, and this brings us to the other subject, is that Star Wars has something like he has a very strong staying power because it's been decades since the original trilogy. Then the prequel trilogy came in like in the early 2000s, but he had a very enormous extended universe, novels, music, video games, the Christmas special. Does anyone remember that?
Oh yes, the holiday special. It's
the holiday special.
It's something that you can talk about it, but until you've seen it, you don't. You don't know how bad it is until you've seen it.
No, I mean, basically, I had heard about it, but the first time I actually saw it was when I saw the Doug Walker review, like the nostalgia critic review of it, and it was like, what is this shit?
It's like, so bad, it's good. It's so good, it's bad. It's so
like
terrible.
Whip, steer, whip. What the shit? Okay, so anyway,
it is what
all
George Lucas said if he had the time and a hammer, he would track down every copy of the Star Wars Holiday Special and destroy it. Well, now he's got the time now. He sold it to Disney, but yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is it's impossible because it's the time of the internet. That thing, it's there to stay in the general imagination of people.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When something goes on the internet never forgets.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah, so it had that. It had some bad shit, but also a lot of good stuff. But basically, Star Wars is an incredible staying power. No matter how many things they put out for it. It's also because there is a lot of good things that came out of the Star Wars license. But now
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, yes. Now there is, I mean, I actually fear that they may actually run it into the ground. Disney may very well run the franchise into the ground. It's happening to Mario. It can happen to Star Wars.
The thing is, Disney knows just how far into the ground to run stuff. And then they hide it for a couple of decades, and then they bring it back.
A lot like with their the classic princess movies, as they're referred to. Yeah. It's like, now for a limited time only, they're coming out on video. 10 years later, coming out on DVD. Now they're coming for limited time only, they're coming out on Blu-ray, and then they'll come out again for the next format. So Disney, they know how to market something. The day when Disney doesn't know how to profit from a property it owns.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about profit, because even Michael Bay profits from his shit, but his movies are shit. What I'm talking about is franchise fatigue. When you just say, okay, we're getting too much of this stuff, stop. Like, okay, but they want to make a Star Wars movie each year. That's way too fucking much, in my opinion.
The thing is, it's not going to be a mainline Star Wars movie. Yeah. There's going to be like a Han Solo prequel. There's going to be a Boba Fett movie. The thing is, they're expanding and branching out because they saw how good the Marvel movie universe became. They're like, you know what? We got a lot more to work with in Star Wars. And what does that sound like? Cha-ching!
Yeah. Like we say, it's an expanded universe. There's so much in the Star Wars. We may get a little tired of Star Wars, but we're not going to be tired of the characters because each spin-off is going to be a different set of characters. I mean, we're going to have next summer we're going to get Rogue One. which is, I believe, the Rogue Squadron spin-off, which I'm actually kind of excited about. Not desperately. I look forward to seeing more stuff. Actually, is it next year or is it the year after? I get confused as where we are with this. But there's enough material in Star Wars, at least that setting, to sustain a movie every 18 months, 12, 18 months. I mean, how often do they have a Lupin the Third special in Japan?
Yeah, just every few years.
Every year or so. So,
no, but the thing is, the problem is there is a difference with Star Wars and the Marvel universe. The thing is, basically every character in the Marvel universe, even in the DC universe, maybe a little less in the DC universe, but in the Marvel universe, thing is, each character has its own universe. Each character has his story, each character has his arcs, each character has his enemies, backstories, that's it. In the Star Wars movie, no matter who you are, where you live, basically, it's still the same galaxy, and the thing is, it's still the Empire, it's still the Sith, or at the most the Cartel. The basis of the story is still that. As you say, there is a formula to Star Wars. And basically, they're gonna have to repeat that formula with each movie. Marvel doesn't have to do that. Each movie, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They made a heist movie with Ant-Man. They made a space opera with Guardians of the Galaxy. They had the Avengers. Now they're getting Doctor Strange. They're not constrained by a formula. Star Wars, they have to respect a formula. And every year, they're gonna have a new movie with the exact same formula. Now, tell me if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, point there.
Yeah.
I can't deny it that we will get Star Wars fatigue. Now, playing devil's advocate, or whatever you want to do, or internet troll, or however you want to call the position I'm taking here.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee. There's going to be different directors, so each director takes things in a different direction, as it were. I mean, not all. There's a Bond formula, but the different Bond films go slightly different ways, especially with the more modern ones. I mean, more modern Bond films to tie in all the Daniel Craig ones do. But yeah, it's a Bond movie every couple of years, which is what it was in the 60s and 70s. People were quite happy to do that. Oh, what's Bond getting up to this time? Oh, he's still doing his thing. He's still driving a cool car, which is destroying. He's still sleeping with possibly hot women, and it's all these things. So we know exactly where we are with the Bond film.
Now,
Bond franchise is 50 years old now. So
yeah, but I think again with the different, basically, it's not the same formula. Even there, that's the difference. There is the same characters, maybe there is the same names, but not really, because they get it from the novels, and as you say, with each different Bond, there is a different director, there is a different style, there is a different kind of movie. The Pierce Brosnan movies were more like on the fun side, basically, more fan actiony side, silly. The Daniel Craig are darker, more realistic, gritty. There's the charm of, the original OG, Sean Connery. So even with the Bond movie, they don't all follow the same formula.
Is that? But bringing it back to Star Wars and possible Star Wars fatigue that will probably happen. Yeah. I kind of want to say it may happen for more hardcore Star Wars fans. But even then, remember, not everybody's a complete Sith fan. Not everybody's a complete Rebel fan. Not everybody's a Jedi fan. Not everybody's... There's a little bit of everything for a little bit of everyone. It's like you said, for Rogue One, there's always a faction of people that, you know what, I wish I could have been an X-Wing pilot. Or what if I was part of that crew. The Boba Fett fandom, a lot of people that love to do their cosplay as Mandalorians, they want some of the background story of the planet Mandalore and their their species until they died. They pretty much got killed off.
Yeah,
So
that's too bad. Too bad, Mandalore fans. That's not canon anymore. Blame Disney.
Yeah, but again, the thing is, Star Wars fandom is huge. Is as big as any other big fandom. If not pretty much bigger, because there's so much to dig in. And but yeah, like you said, the problem there is: are the bad guys always going to be the Empire? Are the good guys always going to be the rebels?
That's it.
What about the mercenaries in the middle and the cartels?
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, unless they make insert a lot of other stuff, like they start putting in a lot more factions. But that's who did that? Okay, to be fair, who did that really well? The KOTOR games. If you go on the KOTOR, each planet had its own fair share of problems. You have the gangs, you had the monsters. Like I remember Terris. Terris may be one of my favorite, locals ambientation of video game history. I kind of felt bad when Malak basically destroyed it. So they did it well in the games. So if they actually try, if they don't always try to go with the intergalactic stuff, maybe that could work. I mean, okay, so Disney, if you also have, the license, you have the property, don't just, scrub it off. Give it a look, because there is some good stuff you could take tips from if you really want to do this.
Like I say, the Star Wars universe, you can have your small scale thing. There was the what was it, Order 1313, or I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, they scrapped that.
13. Yeah, well, that apparently there were rumours that may actually come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, well, this is criminal gangs on Coruscant. Brilliant. This is precisely the sort of thing we're talking about, because you've got the small scale of criminal gangs on a single planet. Then we've got the big scale of here we are in my TIE fighter having dogfights over fighting around this interdict, stopping everyone from hyperspacing out. I mean, these are brilliant. It goes from both ends of the spectrum if they want to take it there. Now, if they've got any sense, and I mean, Disney have a lot of sense, at least commercial acumen, to go, okay, this is where we want to go. I mean, Rogue One, I get the feeling, isn't going to have a cast of thousands. It could be quite close-knit, as it were.
Yeah, but
I'd like to think it was.
Yeah, but I think the thing is with Star Wars, especially the movies, that basically now, there is a thing with most of the extended universe of Star Wars. They never, ever touched on the period there is the movies. The original trilogy, they never touched that period. Because having to do that would mean, having to fit all together, or maybe, people okay, so you gave us this character, now we wanted to see, in the period, okay, say they make, a new movie with a new character, very good, at the same time, then people will try to demand that they appear in the main movies as well, maybe a cameo or something like that. Basically, they're gonna have the same problem the Avengers is going to have very soon. Too many characters, too many situations.
Yes.
Too many different niches of fans, each one with their favorite characters and stuff, yeah.
Well, it's like what's happening with Batman vs Superman. Which is bloody hell, everything they keep saying, oh yeah, now we're adding Aquaman, and there's Wonder Woman, now there's Aquaman, now there's Doomsday. It's like, this is dangerously close to what I call kitchen sink syndrome, which is something you normally get on a second sequel. Consider it with Pirates of the Caribbean 3 at World's End. How much did you see thrown at the screen, as it were? So like a kitchen sink, we've got this going on, that going on, so many different characters, so many locations. That movie has too much going on for it to be a good movie. And plus how, it starts off with children being hanged, so, jolly times all round.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing I worry about that could happen with Star Wars franchise. I fear, you said the Star Wars universe is immense, and yet I fear Disney may give it kitchen sink syndrome. That's my worry. It's
a valid worry. It's a very valid worry, and we're kind of seeing a little bit of that with all the animated, the 3D animations. And some of the cartoons we got. Yeah. I want to say around the time that or a little after the original, the prequel trilogy came out. First with the Star Wars Clone War animation. The original was by Andy Tartakovsky, and then the 3D CG with pretty much the same design, but just like the extended version. Which was pretty cool because it gave us a little bit of what happened in between episode 2 and episode 3.
Also there was also another problem is that a lot of that stuff was better than the movies.
Because it gave it a little bit.
Yeah, that's
because the dialogue wasn't written by George Lucas.
Yeah, also people were like, okay, the movies or the cartoon. Whoa, wait, this is actually good. Like, who fucking cares about Padme? Give us more Misoka. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Give more Hisoka. Sorry, Hisoka, not Misoka. That's Misaka. I mean, fucking Titans, etc.
Wait, I was thinking Railgun, not Titans.
Yeah, but those are other franchises that have a lot of fatigue, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, this
Titans isn't really that big of a franchise. It's just fatiguing. Period. Railgun Index, yeah, that is tiring.
Yeah, but I think Titan is already on the way to having fatigue. Now he has the story is it's not that good, but now they have an anime, they have a video game, they have a live action movie, they have a spin-off with the small short guy. Whoa, wait a minute, dude, you don't have that good of a story here. You don't have something that can sustain that kind of shit. Slow down. Nope. Money.
The problem there, it's not the story that sustains it. It's the million strong fans that haven't seen anything else. Therefore, they dump all the money in there.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like
the setting for Attack on Titan is interesting. Just it's sort of semi-industrial society. Why well, got these big wars? Because giant Titan, these things we call Titans, come along and attack us.
Yeah,
no, they don't. And then they come back and attack, and they're bigger and bigger. So this it does give you a crushing sense of, I don't know how we're going to survive all of this.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's if you know this, there is two other franchises, two other stories with that same basics. Like everything is dark, everything is hopeless, we don't see a way out. And both those franchises kinda suck right now. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. The first one I thought about was Move Love.
No, not. I'm talking about modern ones,
a lot of things like that. You've got to be careful.
Okay, I'm talking about The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. Those things are fucking boring. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I'm sorry, they're fucking boring. If everything is hopeless all the time, and you want to pull it as much as possible, you just end up repeating the same stuff or trying to do shocking stuff over and over, and in the end it gets boring because you don't have a real story to go behind it. Okay, yes, Game of Thrones a little less.
You say your grim dark is in danger of becoming grim
derp. Exactly.
Wait,
and that's already happened
again.
Sorry,
You mean it's not already grimderp?
Yeah, it's already grimderp. But okay,
Well,
Attack on Titan is clearly already grimderp. Like,
yes.
because
Yes.
Derp.
Sorry to interrupt, but as a comparison with I was sort of thing where a guy was comparing rebuild of Evangelion to the original series, and was saying, well, it gets quite shocking because things building up. And he compared it to Elfen Lied, where it's like one of the first episodes, you've got human blood pinatas. So where do we go from there?
Yeah, also Attack on Titan, you start with people getting eaten alive. You don't get more grim than that. Very hard.
Yeah. The pacing for the horror is quite poor.
It's fucking terrible.
Many of these things.
It's fucking terrible.
So, well, okay, well, they think we're in a horrific situation, and these are
Okay.
great potential for psychological drama. They're not giving the audience the chance to, well, to fill in the blanks themselves. Sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes you just stretch things too much.
The imagination of the audience is.
Sometimes you just.
Of the audience.
Yeah.
It could be a lot more powerful.
You're cracking, You're cracking. We can't hear you very well.
Oh.
Okay, better now.
Okay. No. I think I know what's happening.
What's happening?
1.8-ish, 2 meg download for Monster. Yeah, see, now that's something that's...
Yeah, speaking of stretching things too thin, like you stretch broadband too thin, and then there are the franchises that stretch the intellectual property too thin. You know what I'm talking about, Eagle. Here, this is your moment, Eagle.
Which one?
The one you want to think about. Like, we have a fear that Star Wars may stretch its intellectual property too much. It hasn't happened in 20, 30 years, but Disney may do that. A lot of other franchises that did that, huh? Like in video games?
I can go shoot. I'm shooting fish in a barrel right here. I can easily say Final Fantasy. I can say Street Fighter. Which one do you want me to go with?
Let's go with one. Let's go with one we all agree on. Let's go with one we all agree on. Go ahead. Come on.
Let's go with Final Fantasy. That one's pretty diverse.
Yeah. So like a franchise that we all agree it kinda sucks because how stretched it is.
Final Fantasy.
Fuck you, man. Just really fuck you. It's not that bad, at least now.
The thing is,
God bless Yoshida.
Here's the thing: Final Fantasy has done it on both sides of the. It's done great stuff, branching out, and then there's stuff that are like, yeah, you shouldn't have bothered with.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag because a great example for me is. And I want to say the most shining example of branching off from the main line is Final Fantasy Tactics.
Wow. That was brilliant. So, yeah.
That was great music, great story.
Great gameplay.
It deviated completely from the classic JRPG to go into a tactical RPG. It made you suffer for the story. You actually have to earn your storyline.
Yeah.
And to get that ending, you have to earn it.
Yeah,
and then you get Final Fantasy X-2 and 13-2 and 13-3.
Well, there. The waifu returns.
And up to yeah. So, and then the funny thing is, in the early 90s, when we got Final Fantasy. There was a Final Fantasy game released in the United States that was super easy. It was like ultra easy mode. You can just go ahead and pass the game just not put a turbo button on there. It was so easy. It was ridiculously easy. And in Japan, when they re-released it over there, it was called Final Fantasy USA. Yes, it was. Let me see if I can find the name.
Yeah. Also,
the thing is, it's a great series, and then we got stuff like Dissidia a few years ago, which was
interesting.
Pick your favorite character, pick your favorite villain, and go at it like almost a fighter.
Yeah, that was fucking cool.
And right now in Japan, they're developing the Dissidia Arcade.
Yeah, it's gonna come to PS4 too. Don't worry.
So that's beautiful graphics, great music. Oh yeah, it was Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for those keeping tabs.
Oh my god! Ugh.
Exactly. Now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then we got the Chocobo Racing. It was Mario Kart Final Fantasy, which wasn't bad. It just wasn't that great.
Wasn't that good.
And then we started getting all those re-releases either on DS and Nintendo DS, 3DS.
Some good, some bad. Like
some bad. And then we get the most ultimate insult and cash grab ever.
What?
The mobile game where you get like 16 characters and
Keep
they're all characters. And when you want one of the fancy ones, guess what? You need to pay $1 for each. What they're called gachas. Basically, it's one of those randomizers.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you're going to be dumping in hundreds and hundreds of dollars,
Fuck
not
you.
quid, not euros, just to see if you can get a 1 chance in 57 million to get a Cloud.
Yeah.
Or to get a Cecil, or to get the cool character.
Yeah, I guess mobile gaming it's that big in Japan, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was a blatant cash grab.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll say mobile gaming, isn't that where Konami's heading? Or that and Pachinko?
No, Pachinko's different.
Pachinko is like legalized gambling.
Oh yeah. No. It's like Pachinko and mobile gaming is where Konami are heading after they've taken the massive steaming dump on Kojima.
Yeah.
So that was scandalous. That was still.
Yeah, not only on Kojima, they're basically taking a dump on everything they own. They took a dump on Suikoden, they took a dump on Metal Gear Solid, they took a dump on Silent Hill, they're gonna take a dump on Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, because the next game that comes out, it doesn't really inspire me with confidence. I want more Tag Force, damn it! But nope.
They might bring some stuff back because there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie in the works.
Another, you mean?
Oh. A proper Yu-Gi-Oh! With Generation 1 Yu-Gi.
Ah. Well, fuck that. I want a movie that focuses on the rivals for once. I don't... Okay, so basically, I don't mind the main characters, at least as long as they're not, the Ryoma? Is that his name? The guy?
I don't know. I left the game. I left the series.
Okay, basically not Arc 5, not Zexal. Yeah, I think it's Ryoma, something like that, as long as it's not him. But I want a movie where the main characters are the rivals. I want Jack, I want Kaiba, I want Majome, for fuck's sake.
All I know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is what I watched from a few episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. That's all I know of it.
Duels of motorcycles!
Screw the rules, I have money. That's all I know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, to be honest, is all I really need to know.
Yeah, but okay,
we have this fight to the death over a children's card game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun. I mean, it made people like... if you can make a card game exciting, you're doing something right. You're doing something right.
Oh yeah. Well, let's be honest. The anime is basically to get people to buy the cards for the collectible card game.
Yeah, of course.
Any suggestion otherwise that most of these long-running shows aren't merchandise-driven? It's like your Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade, and everything else. Yeah, and Gundam. To suggest they aren't merchandise driven or there.
Yeah, but they are. But
toy adverts is you've got to take a step back and
Yeah, but I think what what Yu-Gi-Oh and the Gundam do well that the Pokemon doesn't do well. Basically, okay, but like a lot of anime, a lot of stuff in Japan doesn't do well. Okay, so you want to make stuff to sell toys, okay, but nothing stops you from making stuff to sell stuff, but also making that stuff actually good.
Oh, yeah.
Iron-Blooded Orphans is fucking good. It sells the Gundams, absolutely, but it's a good series. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah.
Speaking of Gundam, Build Fighters, hello. I don't care if that was if that was the biggest 26 episodes, 30-minute commercials for getting your own kits and bash them together.
Yeah, basically.
Give it to me. I still want to buy a bear guy.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's nothing bad about making basically. Okay, I don't really have a problem with merchandise per se, because okay, so you're making stuff, you want to sell merchandise about it. Cool with me, but you have to earn my money. Basically, if I have to buy stuff about your product, your cartoon, your movie, whatever, you have to make the cartoon, the movie actually good, because I'm not a little kid. I'm not an otaku either, so yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Did I...
Yeah.
What happened? No one's talking anymore.
Oh, no. I'm with you. Yeah, if you want my merchandising dollars, as it were, you've got to make it worth my while. Just having a cool toy, it's just not enough anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start getting to an older audience, like, oh, that's cool. It's like, that's like $99. Ain't that cool? You know,
Yeah.
you've got to make me really want it. And the dream to make me really want it is not have 4 different paint variants or come with a limited edition cover. It's you've got to make the show initially. So when people go, oh, it's such and such, and they go, so then you go, it's absolutely brilliant. You've got this going on and that.
Yeah.
And people scratching their heads and and the drama and then there's the sequence where someone goes mad with a dildo, beats 4 people to death and what have you. I mean, that's what's the story giving me these things? Dildo optional, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're taking advantage of speaking Gundam. You know, it's a lot bigger than just one series. How many years has how many series has Gundam been going through?
Yeah, and each series
25, 30 years worth of
36.
series.
Yeah.
36 years of series.
Each
and
series
they're all
is
separate series, not really related to each other. And then they go about and make like what was it? Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the Gundam EX versus Boost game for the arcade in Japan and the PS3, and I hope they bring it over here.
Yeah,
then,
that's the thing. Basically, again, it always comes back to that. A franchise survives when it doesn't stick. Basically, a franchise is extensions. Basically, if you want to make more material about something, you don't stick to a specific formula.
Yeah,
mix it up a bit.
Mix it up a bit, a lot. Basically, otherwise you get the Madden franchise, for example.
Yeah.
Eagle?
Best game was on Sega Genesis, Mega Drive.
What? What's about
The
what?
best Madden game was on Mega Drive.
The best Madden game was on Mega Drive.
Yes. Everything else is a spectator game.
Well, yeah.
Fuck Madden.
Fuck Madden. You really don't like Madden.
I will say, along with compare also the FIFA games. And,
Oh my god.
and they say,
PES was better.
PS. Oh yes.
My god.
Pro Evolution Soccer was better. Yes. There were 2 camps of people. I think
Yeah.
FIFA and Pro Evo Soccer. So yeah, but I would say other things. Franchises are dangerously falling down the same formula. Call of Duty, and
Call of Duty, yeah.
and Battlefield. What's the other one? Black Ops, isn't it?
Also, I have to say that Fallout may be falling in the same trap.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming more shootery than anything else, really.
Yeah, I've heard that the Fallout 4 is less RPG-like than any of the other Fallout games.
Yeah.
I might get around to playing them, but it's putting the hours in. When I come home from work, I really can't be arsed. I just sit there and have something wash over me and thought, that'll do.
Yeah, there's also the fact that basically they shifted a lot, as you say, away from the role-playing, the RPG elements, and they focused a lot on crafting and gunplay. Basically, they made it Borderlands. That's what they did.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what I really played Fallout for. I mean, if I liked sniping, I liked the bats, but I also liked a lot how I could basically talk, depending on my characters, the character I wanted to play, the statistics, basically the options for dialogues changed, what I could do with it changed. The same thing happened like in RPGs like Pillars of Eternity. That's the kind of thing I go for, and that's the kind of stuff Fallout was known for. Now they're going to the crafting and gunplay crowd for some reason, because they want to pull in, I guess, first-person shooters fans.
The problem there is Fallout was more of a classic tabletop RPG played on screen. Yeah. And I say that because if you had a specific, you actually could make a dump stat. You can make a super intelligence character, but he could barely hold stuff up. You can make a somewhat balanced character, but give him a lot of charisma, and he'd be able to talk his way out of shit. Or you can just make a bruiser and just pretty much Mordaka.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, okay, so so you want to pull in more stuff. Okay, so I think the balance between the two was New Vegas. New Vegas, I think it's like the best of the modern bunch. I don't want to get into comparing with the first two because I know, but it's the one I enjoyed the most. And it wasn't developed by Bethesda.
Yeah. Well, I say, people with franchises, they keep going to the well too often. They think that they're getting the wrong idea about what we love about the setting. A prime example of this would be the Highlander franchise. Specifically, now the first movie was interesting. It's there are flaws with it, but it's interesting. It's a product of the 80s. No, I don't think any other decade could have made Highlander.
Who wants to live forever?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry about that.
When you think Highlander, you think Princess of the Universe.
Oh yes. But the Highlander had a couple of spin-offs, as you may be aware. Right? There was a TV series.
The TV series, yeah.
However, for some reason, they think they decided it's got to be MacLeod, and all the Highlander spin-offs, it's all MacLeod. But they're not all from the same clan, not from the same origin. I mean, I would have loved to have a spin-off series about Mythos, who was one of the people who was considered to be one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Spoilers for a 20-year-old TV show there. But that's the sort of thing. It's like, there were thousands of the Immortals, and yet they all seem to focus around descendants from one of the MacLeod clan. But there was just no need for this.
There was that, and then there was a cartoon also, which focused on like another MacLeod. I'm like, really?
Still MacLeod, really?
Yeah.
I mean, there is no other clans in ancient Scotland. Just MacLeod.
I would have loved a pure Ramirez series.
Yeah,
a young Ramirez.
That would have been interesting.
Wow.
And then there's so many other immortals because they have one of them or two immortals are actually the joke is they were actually Bonnie and Clyde, so they didn't really die in the hail of gunfire. Bonnie and Clyde were supposedly killed it. So you get these like nice little things and how they have like their historical to-dos and some of these characters actually were and then they disappeared and what have you. But I can get the why they needed something to tie it into for the original series, but then of course it did kind of spin off because the original movie MacLeod was the last.
MacLeod.
Yeah, Connor was the last, but then suddenly a few years down the line there's Duncan and then these thousands of others because there's an Immortal of the Week. So
I mean, they could have made exact again because it was MacLeod. Basically, again, the formula. Basically, the formula for Icelander was the MacLeod formula. They could have made it like, the things with the Islanders happens periodically. Like the Earth is like thousands, billions years old. So maybe the immortal things happens periodically. So maybe after MacLeod there was a new war with two immortals. They could have done that, but nope. MacLeod formula.
The thing is, they tried doing it with Amanda using the
the Raven.
But it didn't really last long. But again, the thing is, it fell to the fandom that was MacLeod.
Yeah.
And the original movies, they watch the TV series, and they're like, well, it's good and it's different, but it's not MacLeod.
Yeah. Well,
they caved into
yet
that.
Yet again, the fans ruin everything.
Yeah, but not. I mean, what you said on there, I have to go back to what you said before about Star Wars sequel. You say that the prequels were shit because they didn't stick to the formula, but I think it's more that they didn't stick to the themes of Star Wars. There's a difference. There's a difference. Yes. I think it's important to specify. Because basically we've been talking for an hour and 50 minutes, basically, about things that fail or become too much because they stick to a formula. And I think the important thing here is to stick to the themes.
Yes. I can agree with that.
I'll agree with that. Bringing another example to the table. The greater Street Fighter universe thing. The video game, the cartoons, the anime, the toys,
the cartoon, the movie.
The movies do not exist.
Come on, Raul Julia as Bison was fucking.
Yeah, he was okay. I will give you Raul Julia because come on, Raul Julia is just that good.
My God. Do you know he made that kid because his kids asked him to?
Oh, he had so much fun doing it. You can see he hammed it up as only he could.
Oh yeah, no, he's hamming it up. But the thing is, that was his last thing, and that, he will always be known for it. Is that because it was his last thing? We think, but he was brilliant in the Addams Family movies.
Wow, yeah,
the Addams Family Values. Because Uncle Fester, that's Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
It is.
He's like really tall, and he's like got mad hair and Back to the Future, but now he's shaved head and he's squat down, and he's like, yeah,
that's brilliant.
That's acting range.
That's acting.
Of course.
Each Bison dollar will.
So what I'm bringing it back to was, you know what? There's stuff that fails and there's stuff that works, and like you said, it's not so much staying to the formula, but staying to the topics. Why has Street Fighter worked? Because it's a fighting game, and you bring in diverse characters from the rest of the world playing or not on stereotypes, and it's been running for the better part of 15 years, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
A new number to the main series is coming out, and they've pimped out Street Fighter to so much stuff.
Oh
yeah.
Well, it's a long-standing joke. Oh, it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo Uber version, and so Super Mega Hyper Ultra Diamond Edition.
That thing, yeah.
That got really irritating, that thing. But I did find out why that was the case. Apparently, it was to do with the costs of trademarking it. Because it would have cost them a lot more to trademark and copyright Street Fighter 3 than it was to what is effectively Street Fighter 2 Diamond Edition or whatever it was. So it's like, oh yeah, we could just keep adding whatever versions of the editions we like. And it costs us next to nothing. And we'll just profit more on it. It's like, well, that's what we'll do then, lads.
And that was back in the day before DLC content existed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but I have to be fair. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seems that Capcom may be doing some good things lately. I don't know. They give me that impression. Am I wrong?
They've been keeping really on the down low a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So they haven't really been talking about stuff. They've only been hyping up the Street Fighter because it's because of the fighting community, the fighting game community, and Street Fighter V coming out.
Yeah.
And recently, Akuma coming out, appearing
on
as
Tekken.
Not a character in Street Fighter V, but on Tekken and the newest Tekken 7 edition.
Which is like mind blown. Like what?
Yes.
What?
But Capcom's been keeping pretty quiet about other stuff lately. It's like they haven't really talked about Monster Hunter. They haven't talked about other games in their other franchises in their.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to because they're preparing other surprises like the censorship for Street Fighter V. Because they want to keep it a family-friendly franchise. Give me a fucking break.
Please.
Give me a fucking break. Okay, so basically they made stuff rated T14s there is much more racy and sexy and stuff that the thing they censor. They did it because they didn't want to get into a fight with social justice warriors. That's really it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh please, social justice warriors should shut up. Street Fighter already has a proper transvestite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-op or post-op, depending on if you're in Japan or United States.
Yeah. Yeah, but I kinda, I don't know. I'm not really a huge, fighting game fan because I'm more around I don't really do multiplayer because there's always someone that just runs you into the ground at the first fucking round. But I don't know. I kind of like the new characters and the new returns. I'm a Mika fan, and also I kind of want to play with the Arab guy. Rashid, is that his name?
Rashid.
Yeah.
Rashid, yeah, but the Tekken Hashin is a lot better.
Yeah, but I don't know, I just like his design and of like he plays with wind and stuff. But the thing, that's the thing, although speaking of social justice wars, when they revealed it, basically they said, hey, it's a stereotype and stuff and that. Then they asked the Arabs what they thought of the character and they were like, oh, it's cool. It's cool.
The thing is, social justice warriors just want a reason to whine about something.
Yeah.
They want a reason to get on their soapbox.
Yeah, the way it looks to it from my perspective, and I could be wrong, is they see that the parents' generation or the generations before that were protesting something, and they felt like they were making a difference, protesting Vietnam or being part of the civil rights movement. Now, whether or not that was the case, they were actually enacting change, but they felt that they were doing good. And let's be honest, what is there to protest these days? corporate greed. Well, that's always been there.
There is a few things.
There are a few things that are worth testing, and I'd like to see them actually take on things like.
Yeah, but it takes work.
I don't know.
You may be forced to expose yourself. You may be forced to get your feelings hurt. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Fucking participation trophy generation.
Yeah.
That's my generation, and I never had a participation trophy in my life. Only participation medals, but I keep that in my shame locker.
Participation medals? What? You didn't get? People are unhappy just getting a cookie?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't happy. I remember, I did swimming when I was young, and I did a regional, challenge and stuff, and I came in second place. I still remember that. For very few, but I came in second place. I was like, whoa, I came in second place. I'm good. Then participation medals for everyone. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's.
That was my reaction. I was 10, 11.
Here's the thing: is participation medals is a fancy way to tell everybody to say, "Get good."
Well, but they don't take that lesson from it.
Yeah, that's not how they say it.
Well, you get every football player. You get everybody. Sorry, you get everybody who's been in every major sporting final, any team. Let's just say you won the World Cup, the European Cup, the FA Cup, the Super Bowl, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Everybody who's got a winner's medal, as it were, or Super Bowl ring, or whatever, mm-hmm. Everybody who's won knows exactly where their medal is. The runners-up medal, they all deny all knowledge where it is. They say, "Oh yeah, I'll keep it in the toilet or whatever." It's like, where's your runners-up medal for the FA Cup? They go, no idea. Where's your winner's medal? Oh, it's pride of place up here. That's how it works. These people, the runners up and such. So just because you've gotten a participation medal doesn't mean that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just but some people are taking the wrong lessons.
Yeah, but the thing is because
you know what in a marathon what your participation medal is? It's your fucking number.
Yeah, pretty much.
And your completion time.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind participation medals is for everyone everyone gets a participation medal, but the first 3 places also get gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, and everyone else gets fucking nothing, just the participation medal. Just everyone gets that, but those guys get more because they're better than you.
Yeah, that's how real world works. Well, I think they was to counter the hyper-competitive attitude that some parents have because they live vicariously through the children. Yeah. Some people believe that second place, that's a fancy name for loser, that is.
Yeah, there is.
Which harsh. Which is harsh, to be fair. I mean,
yeah, it's two extremes. Come on.
Yeah, you got to strike a balance somewhere. So, that's one of the important lessons you need to learn in life. Is balance. Am I going too far with this? Yes, no. Okay, we'll dial it down or push forward. Sometimes you got to double down. Sometimes you got to think, okay, well, let's move it across. Let's chill out a little bit.
Yeah, there must be a balance in everything, like you said. And exactly for that, again, returning to the original subject, because we have 5 more minutes before we have to go. Again, I firmly believe that if they do it with a formula, releasing a movie a year in the Star Wars universe is way too fucking much. Because it reminds me of what Activision is doing with Call of Duty, and it fucking scares me. Really, fucking scares me.
Yeah.
Having to compare Star Wars to Call of Duty, it fucking scares the fucking head ship. You know what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It scares the hell out of you because it stops. The thing is, number one, it's formulaic. Number two, it depends on the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah.
And what are you actually giving it to actually improve? And that's what a lot of people want.
Yeah.
They want, if it's a storyline, okay, make sure that storyline flows naturally, that the characters feel that you can relate to the characters up to a certain point, or that you can cheer them on, or hate them, or boo them, or whatever. Make us feel something about the characters, not just, he got their participation medal by appearing in the movie.
Yeah. See how everything comes together to a summer. Everything, see guys, we're actually planning this. We're not just talking about whatever comes to our minds.
Oh no, not at all.
It all fits perfect
together, just according to Keikaku.
Translator's note. Keikaku means plan.
Okay, guys, we have the last 4 minutes of the program. I want to hear your final thoughts on what we talked about. Let's go to you first, Eagle.
Franchises. They last a long time because they mix it up a little bit, just enough to keep you guessing. What makes that franchise great? Whatever the hell you want it to be.
All right. You, Will?
Along with that to an extent. It's like, Star Wars will not be the worst thing ever. Force Awakens will not be the worst thing ever seen in the Star Wars universe. That goes to Star Wars Connect with the dancing Han Solo game.
Okay, give it.
So, it's like, part of being an adult is to have managed expectations.
Yeah.
So you think,
you say that a lot of people feel that.
Yeah, it's easy to get to jump on the hype train and run off like a maniac. Now, let's not forget the Phantom Menace trailer was awesome.
Yeah,
it was like, okay, this is interesting, and we were let down because taxation, and there were too many unanswered questions in the movie. Now you do get the novelization, or the tie-in novels, tie-in comics, games, and what have you, where things get explained more. But when we're talking about the films, if it's not on the screen, shit don't matter. That's how it works. It's I don't care if there's a trilogy of novelizations where everything is explained and everyone has super cool dialogue and everything is absolutely awesome. If it's not on the screen, then it doesn't. Then it's not the movie. It doesn't stand on its own.
Yeah,
the movie becomes a 2-hour trailer for the books. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to watch the movie for 2 and a bit hours or however long it is, just to be entertained. That's what
you hope that the movie stands on its own.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm quite happy for there to be things that a particular scene was interesting, or I want to know more about that, and that's not on the film, but it is in the novelization. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if what I'm seeing on the screen doesn't hold up on its own, if I've got to go away and do my research, do some homework, then that's not okay. That's not how it works.
The Final Fantasy 13 also did that basically to understand what was going on the screen, you had to go and read the glossary, the encyclopedia of the game. That fucking sucked.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
Not acceptable at all. Yeah. So I too hope that this movie stands on its own, and basically, again, Disney. You may have erased, like that doesn't count anymore, but you can take a lot of tips from the extended universe, especially from the KOTOR movies. What I'd really love to see is like, the discussion basically they had on the Force and dark and light and grey area that he had in the first and second of the KOTOR games. That was really interesting. I really love that to appear in the movies. Okay, guys, we're running out of time. This is Menosky. This has been the Italian Pod talking about Star Wars and franchises in general. With me has been Eagle Sears.
Hasta luego, amigos.
And William Smith.
Arrow, goodbye, whatever.
Okay, we'll see you next Sunday. I hope you have a nice evening and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh.